Welcome to Raw Take, everyone, the lifeline to your unfiltered media experience. I'm your host, Gian Thomas, and this is my co-host, D. Williams, and this is our weekly guest, Rush Sanders. And Rush got a real important story for us today. As we see in our poor country, racism is still alive, and one of our own Raw Takers have witnessed this racism. So go ahead, Rush. Let us hear it.
Well, guys, I want to say racism in America is still really exists. We all know that. Just to tell this story is kind of compelling because something happened to me. I've been on the road for 17 days. In the past 17 days, I was in a city called Salado, Texas, where I was doing a petition for a company. In that process, this past Friday, I was in a small town called Holland, Texas, which is about 8 miles out of Salado, which is about 30 minutes from Killeen, Texas. And doing this petition, it allows me to walk up to people, talk to people of all different types about the petition that we're doing in that county. And I approached 3 gentlemen that day about my petition to ask them, did they want to sign it? And they told me, F the government, F voting. We don't care about any petition. We're not signing anything. Well, I approached them. They had been doing some drinking. You could tell they had beer bottles. They had beer cans in their hands, and they were very rude to me. And I left off. I got in my car and didn't think anything of it. Well, these 3 gentlemen that drove a monster truck, they followed me. I just so happened to look in my rearview mirror going down this road, and the road is very long. No one was on the road. And these same guys that I had just spoke to literally 15 minutes prior was following me down this road. I didn't know what to think of it. I just thought that, they're going the same way that I'm going. So what's to think about that? But little did I know, they got behind me, honking the horn. They got on the side of me. They threw the FU signs to me, the middle fingers up and saying, listen, we don't believe in the government, F the government, that's just what it is. They had a Confederate flag on the back of their truck, right? Big monster truck. And they were saying all kind of belligerent things. I went back and forth with them, kind of combative, which I probably shouldn't have. I was trying to stand my ground. But these guys they jumped in front of me on the road and they slowed down. They were trying to cause me to hit the back of their truck. They threw beer cans out the back of their truck, cursing and carried on and saying a whole bunch of stuff. And before I knew it, they turned down the street and that was it. But that one experience made me it shook me up because nothing had ever happened to me like that ever. I had to literally stop my car and just really rethink what had just transpired. And they had a motive. Their motive was a scare tactic. It was to scare me. I was the only black man within that area in this little small country town that they thought that they can attack. And God knows what could have happened to me on that day. This is 6 o'clock last Friday. My phone went dead, so I could not even contact anybody to even let them know what had just happened to me within that time frame. It really shook me up as a black man because now I saw it all over the TV. I saw how policemen and just people that are entitled white nationalists, how they do us, Black America. And for me to experience it last Friday, it was surreal. And so, black men, I would tell you, you have to be very careful who you approach, where you approach them. Be aware of your surroundings at all times, because in a matter of a moment, things can take the wrong turn. And racism still is so relevant to the point to where I was mad, I was angry, I wanted to do something, but I realized going back and forth with those guys could have been the end of my life.
Yeah.
within that very moment. And we just have to be careful about what we're doing, how we're doing it, how we approach people, because right now, America is on edge and it's full of racism. And you're seeing it spewing out from all sides of the table. And I won't ever forget that experience. It's just right now, just talking about it, I'm still shaking up, because they could have killed me. They could have did anything. It was 3 against 1. And we got to be careful, and we got to be very alert about what's going on and keep our eyes open at all times, man. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy out here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So that was my experience, and no black man in America should have to fear for his life. Should have to fear from just thinking that something may happen to him in that time frame, just from approaching someone, just on a level of just interacting and engaging someone, not knowing that these people were going to be belligerent, try to scare me because I was leaving that city, and they felt like they had the upper hand because it was 3 against 1. And that was my situation, man. And it just lets you know where we are today in today's society and how we're still fighting tooth and nail with racism.
Yeah, man. That's hard to hear. Because your life could have ended right then and there. Who knows what was in those dudes' trucks? You never know. And these guys, these racists, these white nationalists, these people who wave the Confederate flag, the people who have MAGA hats and Trump memorabilia, we don't know what their intentions are. All we know is their actions. They have a long list of actions of doing violence and crime that the media and everybody else want to just turn a blind eye to. They want to talk about Black Lives Matter protesters, but they don't talk about how, there was a Trump supporter who wanted to assassinate and who sent bombs out to Obama and stuff. This happened, earlier on in his presidency. But these are things that Trump supporters are known for. A lot of these cops, there's so many of these racist cops. Guess who they support? They support Trump. I'm pretty sure they support Trump. This is just what it is. These are the facts. And so many people will be like, racism is dead. This is 2020. I don't understand what you're talking about. You're the racist. You're always talking about race. Yeah, whatever. You a bozo. You a freaking racist bozo. There's so many racist there's so many people don't know what racist adjacent means. If you kind of have some of the same feelings, if you don't understand what Black Lives Matter and your first response is all lives matter, you don't get it, bro. You don't get it. Let's take this scenario. Let's break it down a little bit right now. Let's say Rush, let's say your house is on fire. D, your house is on the same side as my house, and you go over there trying to save Rush's house. And I go, wait, hold up, D. What about my house? And you're like, well, your house not on fire, Rush's house on fire. We gotta save Rush's house. But I'm like, wait. What about my house? And I'm like, what about all the houses on this side? All houses matter. That don't make no sense. Rush's house is on fire. That's what you look like when you say all lives matter. You look like an idiot. That notion that all lives matter, I'm not sorry. You look like an idiot. You look like a fool. Cause you don't understand we got a real target. Activists are being shot. Black people are being shot every day. This is real life. This is America, people.
That was infuriating. I never thought in a million years. I've seen it firsthand on TV. I've seen whatever, but in a million years, I would have never thought that would have happened to me, right? Yeah. Because I carry myself a certain way, but it doesn't matter if you carry yourself a certain way. You still have people out there that are they just want to, they're racist for no particular reason. They have evilness in their spirits, and people are right now looking for ways to kill you.
Yeah.
point blank. I don't even know how another nicer word to say that, but that's just what it is. But I'm just glad I'm still here today to talk about it. I'm glad that I'm even on the show to even share my story, to tell you guys it's time to wake up. It's time to take the blinders off, and it's time to fight back. Point blank.
Yeah. You know, I call that whole situation that happened to you and the things that's happening across the country to black people, black men. I call it black man's reality. Uh, like you were saying, Gian, people don't understand the struggle of the black community. I'm talking about the real black community that's actually facing the struggle. Um, it is true, all lives matter, but all lives are not targeted right now. It's the black and brown lives that's targeted. And, you know, there's your proof. Mr. Rush, he was targeted. So now he knows firsthand of what it feels like. Um, and unfortunately, there's a lot of other, you know, black men and women that know firsthand, even children now know
Yeah.
firsthand of what it really feels like. And it doesn't feel good. And like I said in the previous show, you know, what if you just switch that around and put yourself in our shoes and get treated the way we're getting treated, being shown aggression towards for no reason. I mean, it's getting to the point where black people can't even go in their own neighborhood and enjoy sunlight, enjoy the outdoors without some prejudiced white person, because they're not hiding anymore, coming out to them and starting problems. You know, want to call the cops. Oh, you're not supposed to be here. Why? Because I'm black. That's why. Because you're black. And Rush, you know, you were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you know, you got a scare out of it. And it was simply because you're a black man. And we're all, you know, all of us black people, like I say all the time, we have to come together, not so much as to wage war against, you know, Trump supporters and prejudiced white people, white supremacists, but to come together so that we can have strength as a people. And that way we can demand to be heard, we can demand to be seen. But it's as long as the segregation amongst us is still there, it's not going to happen. We have to come together, and unity brings power,
Yeah.
and power brings change.
Yeah, that's true. And I think Rush talked about getting out there and fighting, and you know you can't we don't, like we always say, we don't promote violence on this show. So you have to fight in the smart way. You have to get out there and you have to vote. I don't know if people know, but right now in Texas, early voting started yesterday, and so vote. You know, get out there and vote for the candidates that best represent you. Get out there and vote. Let your voices be heard. This is where it starts now. Pick the right candidates now, so in November you don't have to pick between a rock and a ham sandwich. I mean, you know, you don't want to be stuck in between a rock and a hard place. So pick now. The primaries are the most important thing. We dropped the ball with Joe Biden and, you know, Bernie Sanders, but you know what? We can pick it up right now and we can win these local elections, because that's where you're most affected at, people. You're most affected at home in your backyard. This is where the real change starts. You start by getting those, by electing those, the DAs that are trying to help people and not put people in jail, and judges, and like, you know, there's a big movement for this. Get involved, young people. Get involved. This is the place. This is how you get involved. You get the raw knowledge. We are feeding y'all. We are letting y'all know how the system really is. We are letting it be known. We are that voice, that
Yeah.
that voice of reason.
You can't complain. This year has to be different from any other year. This year, everything is coming out. And the way to fight back, like Gian said, is to vote. And not just to get there, you need to hurry. You need to rush to vote because your vote counts. If you didn't think that your vote count now, it counts more than ever. Young folks, listen, you can't complain about the justice system. You can't complain about, yes, you can. You can complain about it, but unless you're going to be a part of the solution, you really can't say nothing at all. The part of the solution is educating yourself about, like Mr. Gian said, who's in your local government, who's making those changes. And if you're not a part of that process, if you're not part of the solution, then you may be a part of the problem. I just hate to say that. So now is the time to get to the ballot box, get around some people that can inform you. Be engaged. If you're gonna be engaged, if you're gonna protest, you have to vote as well. It's a two-part process. You can't do one without the other. If you do one, you only get, it's half the recipe. And that's just what it is.
Yeah, guys, I kind of wish that there was a ham sandwich in the rock that was running. We'd have some better candidates if it was a ham sandwich in the rock that was running.
Not the ham sandwich!
I'd be like, look, man, the ham sandwich might taste good, but that rock ain't gonna move.
So a rock would be way better than what we got in office right now.
Right?
Jesus Christ. Man.
So guys, rush to vote, get out and vote, let your voice be heard. Your vote matters. No vote, no voice.
Exactly. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Please, guys, kill that like button, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we got to upload. Y'all have a great day.